even it seems like it should be an easy answer, but it's really not, because each district is a little different. Each school handles themselves a little different. Um, and it's kind of situational. You have to take the school into consideration and really hear what the school has to say and what the parents are comfortable with. Um, because a lot of schools, especially, there was a couple year-round schools I worked at where the students didn't really get to go outside. Like, they couldn't just go outside and play and be kids. They had to have in classroom playtime, and or trying to play in the gym. You can't really just run around. You're they're doing like the 6 feet apart and stuff. So kids aren't getting the same type of energy out because people are very cautious about their health. And not saying they shouldn't be, it's just it makes it difficult. So probably a little bit more surveys oriented towards how, um, I guess, the parents and the schools could help one another, because they, like, you know how, after school parent board meetings and stuff, a lot of that stuff was canceled at the beginning of COVID. So starting to reintroduce that sooner rather than later. Um, we have our mask mandates. We know there has to be a time where we can meet, even if it's on Zoom. So each
Yes.
parent and teacher could really start to collaborate more versus just the teachers trying to have some one-on-one time with the parents, even though it's needed. But the each parent needs to be able to like really voice and hear each other, because they don't get to do that as much anymore.
Now that's what I'm talking about. And that's why I would pray that stakeholders get opportunities to hear more from Paris Holly. We're going to talk about that. And I will have a question for Heaven Hart, but I want to find out, Heaven, first, if you would like to introduce your special guest. And then I have a question for you. Um, who is that with you?
The dog?
Yes.
Oh, his name is Milo.
My goodness, that looks like that could take a while. How is it taking care of a pet in a climate that we're in now?
um, it's it's hard just taking care of a pet in general.
Yes,
First
yes.
being a puppy, so potty training and all, teething and all, tearing through everything. It's been a process, but as far as like taking care of, I mean, we don't really take him out much other than around like other people and dogs, so he knows how to interact around others. But I mean, I don't really, we haven't really, I haven't really experienced any challenges as far as like, well, I mean, he did get sick. I don't really know if animals can suffer from the COVID. I don't know, but he
Yeah.
has got sick, but he's better now. So
Okay. Well, I do have a question for you, but
yeah.
before I ask that question, Paris, you and I are seeing, as Paris so eloquently addressed, that there are things that we generally just take for granted. And during a pandemic, we don't have that luxury. So Heaven has a pet, and we might take it for granted that all is well. But even that is something that you have to address a little differently than usual. But beyond that, to both of you, Heaven Hart and Paris Holly, you have had the opportunity to work with the Black Economic Union, with some young people, with Sister Broadus. Is there anything going on with BEU currently or coming up that we might want to know about? And if not coming up, what are the kinds of experiences that you have had? Because I will be advocating in behalf of BEU, asking other parents and young people to get involved. What are some of the kinds of things that you do with BEU? And is it the BEU ambassadors or something like that?
Yeah. I know right now we're working with the CHWs, the community health workers, and trying to help with the fight against homelessness. That's a big thing that we're doing right now, especially because it's so cold outside. We're just trying to do our part because there's a lot of people who are homeless, and not just because of COVID, just in general, with some of the shelters that had closed down during this pandemic. So trying to make sure we could help them be as prepared as we possibly can, since we can't get them housing. Um, that's a big thing we're doing right now.
That is so appreciated. And Heaven, we were taking you back to high school and when we first met, and the introduction was indeed through BEU. Do you get an opportunity, even at long range, to not just keep in touch, but are there any activities in which you can participate even while you are matriculating?
Yes, and everything that BEU does, is just kind of I guess a pro of everything going on right now is that we have the ability to do online, Zoom communications so that you can sit in on meetings and you can be participating in that way. So yes, I am even at long distance able to participate in projects that BU is doing.
Well, now let me say a very sincere thank you to Heaven Hart for not embarrassing an old man. Technology is the order of the day. I guess you could keep in touch, couldn't you? And so it is that your participation with the Black Economic Union and the various kinds of programs engaged, if you cannot participate directly, you can at least keep in touch. So I do appreciate that. And it makes eminent sense. And I'm just wondering, in as much as I have a kind of a prejudice where this is concerned, gained a really good relationship with Brother Sean Barber, the Chiefs ambassadors, after the observance for Curtis McClinton and the others who were around when the founders were. That was really a very special event in my mind, conducted by BEU. And I'm just wondering if either of you or both can recall a particular type of event or event that was meaningful to you in a way that honoring Curtis McClinton was to me. Anything that you can perhaps recall or participated in that those hearing and listening, hearing and seeing, might want to know.
Well, for me, the Curtis McClinton event was extremely huge. Though I'm not from Kansas City, and I'm definitely not a Chiefs fan. I'm a Broncos fan. Denver, Colorado, born and raised. It's never going to change.
Excuse me. I think what happened.
But it was a great opportunity to really meet the pillars who were helping me get so much more knowledge and history within not just Kansas City, but within the Black culture, even deeper than what I've known, because my kids are from here and their dad is football and art, and just to see what I'm engulfed in, that was amazing. But another event that we recently had, we had our financial literacy summit. And that was very great with Mr. Versi Ward, and we had Mr. Brian Ross from Edward Jones. We had a lot of different people who came in, and we spoke about, of course, insurance, which is huge, home ownership, Oh my gosh, there were so many different workshops. I apologize.
Oh, no, no, not at
um,
all. Those are extremely
those
important to
were the big
mention.
ones for me. Those are the big
Yes.
ones that I definitely wanted to go to as furthering my knowledge, and those are the ones that I went to. But there were so many different ones, and we're still pushing forward with our financial literacy calls that we do every Saturday morning. And it is that was just really huge for me because I got to get another insight from other people and learn more. And it helps a great deal because a lot of us in the Black community are not aware of how to really work with our credit to move forward to have those types of assets, or do not understand the importance of why we have insurance or any of that. Um, so that was something that was extremely meaningful for me.
Now, can others join those sessions?
Yes, they can. We do them every Saturday, unless it's a holiday. We do them every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Um, if I could think off the top of my head, I would give you the, I'll just look it up. Um, you can reach out either to me or Miss Valencia, and you could be added to our email list so you could join in and just name either myself or Miss Valencia, uh, who brought you in for the team call. Um, yeah,
That
we
that
had
is so
different
good.
speakers each Saturday. We had a insurance speaker, a health insurance speaker this morning, which is a great deal because some people don't understand the
Wow,
importance of health
this is
insurance.
so good.
You said
And
9 a.m. to 10 p.m. or
Oh, 10 a.m., 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. My
okay.
apologies. Just 1 hour. We're not there all day.
I guess I would have to tell you, we're going to let you go back to it in a minute. Thank you, Heaven, for catching that. I didn't either. But now I have been allowed to say 816 612 1083 as a contact for Attorney Valencia Broaddus. 816 612 1083. And if there's another contact, or if it should be by email, text, or some other means, Paris, you can certainly let us know. But this is something that we so need. And I want to come back to you, Paris, on whether or not the economic condition of people of color is a stereotype or an actuality that we really need to address. But in the meantime, let me ask Heaven if there is a particular event, some particular events, and if not, um, how you feel about such observances as the one for Curtis McClinton.
Yes, the Curtis McClinton one that I attended, it was amazing. Just to be in such an atmosphere with so many people. But just because I've never been to the stadium before, so just in that, just the scenery, the environment, it was amazing to see, and to just be able to meet him, and to see that smile on his face, and to see that he was just so happy to see us honoring him, because I think it was really important that we do acknowledge, he was the founder, and a lot of people didn't know or have forgotten. So I think that event was very important, and I was so honored to be a part of something so big and so special like that.
Thank you so much. And now to both of you, in as much as Heaven said that, let me tell you what you made me think about, Heaven Hart. When you said that it is well to be around someone who indeed is that distinguished and that important, was not at the full measure of his health, and his wife was helping him a great deal, and others who were around him. Let me tell you what you made me mindful of, and I will ask each of you to speak to this. We were allowed to be in that arena because of the leadership of Valencia Brothers. And I wonder if each of you might speak to how important it is and how we sometimes take for granted to be around a Valencia Brothers for not only things like that, but the unspoken things that she does on an ongoing basis. Will you please just speak to that for me?
I'll let
Yes.
you go first, Heaven. You've
Okay.
known her longer than I have.
Yes. I met her when I was in middle school, and let me just say, I could go on and on about her, but she is such an inspirational person. She is so passionate about, education and young people, and it's just amazing that I had the opportunity to meet her. The opportunities that she's given me, experiences, even now, still till this day. I mean, since the day that I met her, she's just helped in every way with students. She's just so passionate. I've never met anyone any more passionate than she is. She is so passionate. And I feel like that's just her love, her career, that she really focuses on. And I'm just appreciative of her, and that I was, I feel like everything happens for a reason, and God definitely put her in my life for a reason. So I'm just very appreciative of her. She's an amazing person. And she will do anything to see those around her succeed. So, yeah.
Thank you. Paris Holly, please.
I have to bandwagon and build on what Miss Heaven said. It's an honor to be around Miss Valencia. The connections and the information that she has that come just because she wants to see somebody else succeed and move forward, and it's nothing is selfish. It's all out of her heart. It's from her heart, and she has a huge one. And it doesn't matter how things are going in her personal life. She will make sure she is able to fellowship with you and build you up no matter what is going on. And that is a blessing to have around, because a lot of people don't get that opportunity to have somebody who has that steady, genuine positivity flowing around them. It's beautiful. And the people who you could meet, who would have thought I would have met Curtis McClinton, been a part of the BU. I was already,
yes,
I was already tutoring when I met Miss Valencia, but then I got to do more when she was like, why don't you get your substitute teaching license? You already have everything you need. She's very knowledgeable. I also do law work on the side, which helps with what I want to do in engineering. And that's a perk, because it's like, well, she's a lawyer. Well, I can help you with this. She also does real estate. That's a beautiful thing, because I want to do property management. I get a great indoor knowledge. I love helping people myself. And it's like, oh, well, guess what? We're doing this. It's just like, there's this, and this. And she's steady continuing her own education and never stopping her lifelong learning to help grow herself while growing other people. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
She's beautiful.
Please allow me to echo, and I've known her for quite a while, and I would suggest to you at least two words. One is resilience, and the other is persistence. And for her to be as persistent as she is, facing challenge after challenge, having to deal with formidable issues, it is pretty remarkable that she just continues. And as we suggest to her that we would understand her absence, it appears that she wouldn't, because she remains present, quote, as Andre Crouch would say, through it all. And that is so greatly appreciated in the community. And we thank her for you because you are the kind of products, if you will, that I pray I can introduce to service personnel who understand they don't serve in vain. They're not coming back to people who are mediocre, but there is excellence. Paris, I mentioned that I wanted to ask you this question and I will be wrapping up. But as you look at financial literacy, how would you speak to the plight of economics in the Black community?
Economics in the Black community is highly underrated. Um, Black people do not always understand how much they hold a great share of finances and economics and just the money that gets moved around. And if we were just taught a little bit more, we could help um, our situations. We could have a lot more homeowners. We could be a lot There could be a lot more people with great credit out there because they weren't just messing off when they were young. They could start now investing in their future so they could have that generational wealth that they're not necessarily thinking of. Um, it's a lot of things that just a little bit of knowledge could take you a long way.
Outstanding. And Heaven Heart, oftentimes when we talk about Black students, historical Black colleges and universities, young people studying together, working together, how do you see Black academia as it relates to students being serious about your studies and helping each other to succeed?
Well, I haven't unfortunately got to see much of that. I do go to a private institution, and not a lot of students of color can afford to go to a private institution. So the school that I go to, there are not many students of color on campus. So, but the ones that are, yes, we are very close knit in helping each other, succeed, whether financially or just, in classes. There are things, there are people of color on staff, who are willing to do everything to, help us succeed. So I feel like we on campus do a really good job at, just staying close and have a good support system. And also just kind of working on how we could attract more students of color to private institutions, which really just comes down to more funding, because we don't have the financial resources to, be able to afford attending a private institution. So they, that's all that comes down to. But,
That's where that financial literacy kicks in.
Yes,
we have the resources, and people don't even see it. It's right up under our noses.
But they have to be made
again, Miss Valencia, she is great for educating and opening a lot of people's minds to just what is right there. Yeah. There's so much money in our community that goes so unnoticed. We have millionaires really right next to us, and people are so unaware.
Well, this is so wonderful, because in as much as Paris Holly would have us to understand that it is underestimated, and Heaven Heart is calling for the opportunity of Black people to take advantage of the resources that we do have that we don't know about, as Paris has shared with us, info at blackeconomicunion.org. Info at blackeconomicunion.org. It is so important for us to use resources. And by the way, can you recall, Paris Holly, whether or not Ajamu Webster has been a guest on a Saturday morning?
I am not sure.
I will recommend that, and I will try to get in touch with him. He's the former president of the Kansas City Black United Front and initiated the Black Credit Union movement a few years ago. And it's something that I think would lend to the fair that you are exposing us to on Saturday morning. So I'll certainly do that.
That would be beautiful.
We have come to a point in the program where we're near the end, and this is a discussion that can go on and on. I cannot express our appreciation enough for Heaven Hart and Paris Holly, and I would like to find out if you have any closing remarks, inquiries, or contact information.
Just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity to come and speak on your show. This is not our first time, and hopefully it will not be my last. So
I'm hopeful, as a matter of fact, that it won't be. Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
I would say thank you very much. And as you said, info@blackeconomicunion.org. It is being monitored. So if you want to send people our way so they could even help themselves with their own financial literacy and knowledge and growth, feel free to shoot us an email so we could try to get you guys linked in. It's about us helping ourselves. We got to want to push forward to be able to grow.
Well, I am telling you that a speaker's circuit is in your future, if not immediate future, when Heaven Hart is graduated and when Paris Holly is available. You need to be heard from, because people need to know what is realistically accessible. And we don't always hear that. Yeah. And as I began the program saying, most important, it is because, unfortunately, there is so much divisiveness in the United States of America at this time that well-meaning people need to come together. We need to talk about things that are positive. We need to help young people understand ways not only to learn what is presented to them in their classroom and where curricula are concerned that deal with basic learning, but also to not mistake schooling for education. But we must be educated beyond the classroom and beyond what occurs during the days. And this is such a wonderful example of the programs presented by Sister Valencia Broadus, your organizations, that we must keep you in touch with, and we must keep in touch with those kinds of programs. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. God bless you. And you will be asked to return, perhaps over and over again. So thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you.
In behalf of Wave Your Grades, every Saturday, 1 until 2 p.m. on KUAW.org, we thank today's very special guests because they have kicked off a national movement year where we are attempting to make sure that those who serve this country see us being united rather than divided, educated rather than politicized. Two excellent examples of the kind of young people we want you to know you're serving for have appeared on our program today. And remember, KUAW.org. Remember also, KUAW stands for knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. Thank you. As we sign off on this day, January the 8th, my name is Carl Boyd. Gracious God and wonderful Wanda, I'm on my way home. Thank you again. We are leaving the broadcast. I'm sorry, if you're waiting for us, I just simply hit leave. Uh, Brother Walker has a robotics competition, and
Oh,
I just thought
Okay.
that
Okay. Have a good day, you guys.
you too.
yeah,
God
you
bless
too.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.